Hey, I'm Garrett here, out in front of, what is that, Charter Oak? Yeah. Basically, what do we got? 3,300 square feet, a little bigger than that, same from the owner. I'd have to double check tax records. 5 bed, 3.5 bath. It's built in '69. Around 24,000 feet of lot. A lot of that's given away up front here. Giant 4-car garage, which is pretty cool. The house itself is rad. There's not much of like a game zone or something that you could do on this as far as inside, pool table, things like that. Could always try to figure that out with the garage itself for short-term rental stuff. But otherwise, super clean, really neat looking home. You've got some gigantic saguaros here. Those are probably going to start falling over. They get too big. These are old cactus. You can see they've got some like support on them. So I bet you these start dying and falling over. That's got support on it as well. Those are protected. You have to be a little bit careful with what you do on those. But if they fall over, they die. That's just part of life. Those takes like 80 years before those things grow arms. So those things are old as dirt. Anyway, cool house. Love the pavers, love the front. One thing I will point out is this is septic tank. So that's a septic tank right there. The seller has to provide us a clear septic report, which they would do if we're under contract. One concern on that might be if you've got a giant group of people in here, is that thing big enough to support, let's call it 5 straight days of lots of showers and partying and whatnot. But yeah, so entry to the main zone here, I'll kind of give you a quick layout. That's a big 4-panel slider, double door there. We've got 3 bedrooms and a bathroom down here. We've got a bedroom right off here, and then another kind of the primary bedroom way off in the back there. So this is definitely the vibe and setup of a living hang space that I would want for short term. It looks like this has been a short-term rental just based on the decorations and designs. I'll double check and see if they've got any info on how well this has been doing. But here, I'll go this direction first. This is the kind of the crammed zone of bedrooms. So this is, everything's nicely updated, but this is the bathroom that those 3 bedrooms would share. This is maybe not my favorite scenario of shower here. It doesn't have glass around it or anything. This might be something you have a little bit of concern on, just, if there's 12 dudes partying in here, this kind of being a mess. This also looks like it's just drywall right there, so that's probably getting wet and whatnot. I just imagine spilling out of that thing. So anyway, we'll keep going. These aren't giant rooms, but again, as an Airbnb, you don't really need giant rooms, although at this price point of $2.3 million, you might, an end user buyer might consider wanting these bedrooms to have their own ensuite bathrooms, and there's just no way to do that in this property. So not giant rooms, although that's a pretty big bed. Just your typical slider closets in here. This comes off to the side yard. This does give you access to the back off of here. There's no blinds or anything. Oh, there are some, I guess. I'll double check. I think they have been using this as an Airbnb. So yeah, so there are some shades. Cool decorations for what they're accomplishing. But again, a little pricey for these 3 bedrooms to share this kind of awkward bathroom right here. Head back this way. Again, cool that, we're facing the north-facing backyard, which means this patio out here is always in the shade. They've done a really cool job of kind of a wet bar zone over here, the fancy wine cellar there, built-in Sub-Zero. We've got a butler's pantry down here at the end, which is kind of cool. Gas to the property. Well done. I mean, this is what I would want. I want a big living space like this for everyone to congregate while they're hanging out. We've got an opportunity for a fan with a pendant there. No pendant or anything declared over here. All right, so this is basically a secondary primary, a second master bedroom. Nice size. This is just off the front of the house. We do have a door here, exits to the front yard, so this would give access to this bedroom. And then they've done a nice job in this bathroom here. Wish the other shower was something like this. It was a little more manageable. And a decent step-in closet there. Here, I'll show you this butler pantry. This has storage and stuff all up underneath here. Again, this is kind of the up-to-date in colors that are being used. This light walnut. Butler pantry here, coffee bar, things like that. Sink. Do the same thing over here for your guests and whatnot. I can't tell if this is just staged or was an Airbnb. I think it might just be staged, actually. Half bath down this hallway. That's just storage. We've got garage and laundry here. Real nice laundry room. Window off to the back. Sink. I'll stick you in that garage in just a second. Here's kind of a landing zone from that garage, and then a real cool master here. So I was saying these windows don't have any coverings on them, so I don't know who's living here or what we're doing on covering those for, no TVs. No TV there, but it's plugged for it. This is cool. This is huge. So that's a walk-through shower with 2 spouts and access to an outside shower there, which is pretty cool. Tub, standalone tub. This is a gigantic closet. For Airbnb purposes, you don't need that much space. But, for end user purposes, that's really neat. And like I said, this walk-through shower here, got a bench, got an outdoor shower here. This door opens up to the outdoor, and there's a shower off the pool zone. So pretty neat. Water closet. There's some stuff here that maybe doesn't seem so finished. That I don't know if they're trying to do a trim or something on top of that. It looks like maybe they were trying to run some power to that, so maybe that's not completely done. I'm going to kick these lights off while I'm in here, sorry. All right. All right, garage here. This is nice and epoxied. Smells like they just either painted or did this flooring or something. It's humongous. You could do maybe some sort of split unit, mini split AC unit, and make this one of the sides of this a game zone or something for your guests that are here. But this is massive. That's just utility closet, AC, that kind of stuff. And we'll go check outside. All right, I said this was a big slider, so this will open up and congregate. Those 3 panels will just sit here. This is also a door, so nice open space during the nice weather. And then tons of room out here. Nice, pretty easy to maintain. You've got some oleanders that do some hiding from neighbors back there. Turf, huge patio. Big table and hang zone right here, but bring that inside. We've got a grill, I've got to assume we've got gas coming to this. Hopefully it's not propane. Yeah, I've got gas down there. Little water fountain and stuff, hang zone, play area. This is where you do like bags and, you know, play zone. Real cool patio or awning covering here under this fireplace. That's another patio off of the master bedroom there where that shower is. Cool gas fireplace out here for hanging out. That's a storage shed over there. Let's have a peek at that. Pool equipment, heater for the hot tub, storage. Looks like they got a pool fence for you already. Long skinny pool. Hot tub is great. Got some rocks and stuff down there. I'm not sure. Clearly hasn't been used in a while. But as far as maintaining and stuff goes back here, this seems pretty simple. You're going to trim these up every now and then. This is the shower zone off of that master bathroom. This is all master bedroom over here. They've got the court for the pickleball. You know, clean this up a little bit. Maybe put some lights or something out here. This is kind of a little drainage spot for the yard as water accumulates. Basketball hoop. Could be updated at some point. But space over here to do stuff too, depending on the drainage zones and things. ACs look to be new. Sounded like they had just kind of done a roof. Let's double check here. Did a bunch of stuff. So there's pretty much a flip in 25. Hot and cold is brand new. Looked like roof is brand new. Did some pool updates in 21. So cool home. Not sure why they left this unfinished right here. I consider like a travertine cap or something. Like, see these little tiles here? You might consider putting something up on top of there. I'm not sure if they're done or not. I like finishes like this underneath the patio. Cool home. Cool home. Got some drainage spots here. Really easy to maintain. Obviously, you're picking weeds and stuff, but you know, a yard guy's probably doing most of that for you. Looks like they've got some old sprinklers left over. Love the area. Love the space. This kind of is a house that I think really does double as your Airbnb opportunity and also, you know, personal use. You know, and this isn't far from what personal buyer would be interested in. So let me know. Maybe it's around in the next weekend or so when you're in town, and come check it out. Bye.